Do you remember Atlantis: The Lost Empire? That Disney classic released in 2001 that took us on an underwater adventure full of mystery, ancient technology, and a forgotten civilization? That's right. A lot of people still love this movie to this day. But did it ever get a sequel? And will we ever see a live-action version of Atlantis in the future? All those answers, and some really cool fun facts, you're about to find out now, here on Cine Lovers. In the original film, we follow Milo, a young cartographer and linguist who finds a mysterious manuscript called the Shepherd's Journal, which seems to hold clues about the location of the legendary continent of Atlantis, lost deep beneath the ocean. Determined to prove the legend is real, Milo joins a team of specialists on a submarine expedition filled with danger, secrets, and discoveries. The adventure is packed with tense moments, gigantic sea creatures, and surprising revelations. The film was directed by Gary Truesdale and Kirk Wise, a duo you probably know from other Disney classics like Beauty and the Beast and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. With that kind of background, it's easy to see why Atlantis has such an epic tone and visually stunning style. Did you know that Milo, the main character, almost had a completely different origin? In the original concept created by the writers and directors, Milo was going to be a direct descendant of the infamous pirate Blackbeard. The idea was to give the character a past more connected to the world of exploration and piracy. Can you imagine how much that would have changed the story? Instead of being just a curious and determined academic, Milo would have inherited the legacy of one of the most dangerous pirates in history, which could have opened up new motivations, inner conflicts, and maybe even a bolder side to the character. But in the end, the directors decided to go in a different direction. They thought it would be more interesting to show a more intellectual, insecure hero who was passionate about knowledge and about the idea of discovering Atlantis through science. So the directors wanted to make this Disney movie without songs. They were really determined to create a Disney film with more adventure, more explosions, and less music. And that's exactly what they did. And since there were no songs, they had more screen time to include additional scenes that wouldn't have fit in a traditional musical due to the runtime. Atlantis was the Disney animated film with the most computer-generated scenes up until 2001. Most animated films before that were hand-drawn, and you can tell that Atlantis had several 3D sequences, which was pretty amazing for its time. Unfortunately, Atlantis is often forgotten by many, and that's exactly what this series is for, to help us revisit the classics from our childhood. Disney spent around $120 million to produce the movie, and it grossed $186 million. So yes, it made a profit, but for Disney, it was considered a small return. They were expecting way more. But why didn't Atlantis do as well as Disney hoped? Many believe it was because it hit theaters at the wrong time. Atlantis: The Lost Empire premiered just a few weeks apart from DreamWorks' Shrek. Competing with Shrek is no joke, right? Personally, I don't think that's the main reason it underperformed. It could also be that people were so used to Disney movies full of songs, and suddenly a movie came along with none. Maybe audiences thought it was strange or just didn't connect. But honestly, it's a great movie. Disney actually had plans to create a series based on the film called Team Atlantis, which would follow the same characters on new adventures. But the series never got made due to the movie's underwhelming box office performance. However, in May 2003, Disney released a sequel directly to DVD called Atlantis: Milo's Return. The movie is actually a compilation of 3 episodes that had already been developed for the canceled series. Atlantis had several video games released across different platforms: computer, PlayStation, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. They actually seem really cool. I've never played them myself, but now I'm curious. Have you ever tried them? Let me know in the comments. To produce Atlantis, Disney was inspired by 2 books by Jules Verne, Journey to the Center of the Earth and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. The Atlantean language spoken by some of the the characters in the movie was created exclusively for the film. Disney hired linguist Marco Cran to develop the language, and it even had its own grammatical structure. Each letter had a unique sound and way to pronounce it. Pretty awesome, right? Creating an entirely new language just for a movie. That's next level. And by the way, Marco Cran also created the Klingon language from Star Trek. The written alphabet was designed by artist John Emerson. The writing was read from left to right, but on the next line it would reverse, being read from right to left, creating a zigzag pattern. This was done to give the impression of water movement. Super interesting. Go ahead and leave a like, because I bet you didn't know that fun fact. There have been some rumors going around that Atlantis is getting a live-action remake. Disney hasn't officially confirmed anything yet, but it looks like it might actually happen soon. And there are already people suggesting that Tom Holland could play Milo. I think that would be a great choice. It fits him perfectly. Now let's meet the actors and actresses who gave their voices to the characters in the film. Dr. Sweet is voiced by Phil Morris, who appeared in the series Smallville. Mole has the voice of Corey Burton, who has voiced many characters over the years. Kita is voiced by Cree Summer, who also voiced Elmira Duff in Tiny Toon Adventures. The captain's voice is from James Garner, a famous actor known for his role in the series Maverick. Vinny is voiced by Don Novello, known for playing Father Guido Sarducci. And now, Milo, his original voice is from the incredible Michael J. Fox, who is best known for playing Marty McFly in Back to the Future. Speaking of that classic, we have some amazing videos here on the channel about the Back to the Future franchise, and lots of other videos where I take you back to the cartoons and movies from your childhood. Click and check them out. Thanks so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next Cine Lovers.